He's gonna wake up and start getting animated. Oh, I'm all hairy too. Oh, calamity. Calamity. High class problems, right? All of my needs are met. Right, Ma?
Right.
How are you doing today, Ma?
I'm doing well today.
You are? How are the clouds out there? They're like the Simpson clouds today.
Yeah. You can hardly see any blue in the sky.
Oh, no, there's a lot of blue, Ma. See it? It's silvery, shimmery. There's lots over there. Hi, welcome to my tube. My name is Marge. I'm a Heyoka empath. I just like having these little conversations on how I feel about things. I feel pretty good today. I was in the bathroom doing sets. That's like my office in the back room. So whenever I start getting my Aries, what do I do with this? I go do sets. I haven't even, I don't know, where is Venus? What is going on with Venus? Everybody's talking about Venus right now. Venus is the main, where's it going? Oh, look! Cosmic Connection is live right now. I like Rick Merlin. It always buffers for me though, so I just watch it later. I stop in and say hi. Kijin, God, she never ceases to amaze me. She makes me smile. She's so funny. I think that is what is the most enticing thing about her content, is that she's funny, and when people laugh, it raises your vibe. Jupiter's going into Pisces. But what is Venus doing? See, it doesn't matter what it... I just speak in general terms and how it impacts my chart. And I see how the planets are playing out in my life, the energies, the potentials of the energies that are having on. And then I tell stories about how things are that verify those energetic outcomes. So it's an energetic outcome. Yeah. So, but I want to know where... Venus in Gemini. That's what it is. And I think I have Venus in Gemini. So when you have these placements, I don't know, sometimes and it also depends on if it's like a home planet, because they're way more comfortable in their home planets. I don't know it all. I just listen to a lot of stuff. I got my first birth chart done when I was born. And back then they used to put them on parchment paper. So it's been kind of a chill day, actually. I did get some little bit of yard work done. The new little cat, one of the cats that comes around, there's a bunch of outside trailer cats. Call them the junkyard cats. Because everybody just throws their junk out in their yard around here, so all the yards are junkyards. And so this one is real friendly, and he came inside for a few minutes this morning, just a couple minutes, and he and Stan Lee got nose to nose, and I was like, you know, Mom, I think whenever we go, we're going to take this little guy with us. And she agreed. Did you agree? Yeah. So I was like, and so I was trying to think of a name, and I think I came up with Lyle. We're going to call him Lyle. Yeah, he was outside on my sunning chair. I went outside this morning and got some fresh air. Got grounded a little while. Haven't been in the position to do that for a while, and it feels really good. And little Lyle came and just like hung out like Stan Lee did in Oregon under the chair. Only Stan Lee, he's a lover, he ain't a fighter, and all these critters, man, they're all freaking very aggressive. Well, not all the little ones that I feed outside, but there's like the one I call Pet Cemetery, and that cat like walks toward me and the dogs, and I'm like, let's go, dude. That thing's scary. So, more and more stuff is coming out. More and more stuff is coming out. More is being revealed. All of 2020, I said 2020 is the year of clear vision. And then people are going, clearing their vision. And then this is the year they're seeing all the stuff to be seen. All the, it's like, I don't know. Because I have believed myself in so many of the lies that I told myself and like how I dealt with people. But usually if people don't feel good, like if their energy is just, they're not fun to be around. It's just, why do, I call them like filler people. They, hold on, I don't like this song at all. That was a terrible song. Why is that on my playlist? What the heck was that? Aww. Miami Go. Hard to Love. I can relate to that song. What was I talking about? Damn it. Confounded. I guess I'm not supposed to finish that train of thought. So I'm going to shift gears and go to a different one. Did I talk about my outings yesterday? I got to go on outings yesterday. I did not mention this, and this is kind of worth mentioning, and I'll be right back. Oh my goodness, I can't believe I did not. That's what I was going to mention. Holy cow. Oh my goodness. Oh, Mom, this is just like amazing. I can't believe I forgot this. Oh my gosh. So, yesterday I woke up and I've been wanting to read the Bible because I've never read the Bible all the way through because I'm just like, this is just, silly. Of course, I was 5-6 years old. And I'd rather be outside climbing trees and riding my bicycle and stuff like that. And I already knew by that age that I liked women. I liked girls. I didn't like, and so, because they flip my freaking sexual freaking buttons at a young age, because that's what they do. They want to over-sexualize people at a young age to perpetuate their Lucy fairy tale theater. Like why all the Disney kids turned into freaking what they all turned into. I mean, it's a system. And they're all made to create an outcome, and people buy it hook, line, and sinker. And so, I've been wanting to read the Bible, and Jessie Zaboter recommends the New Standard American Bible. She said because it was the closest to like the Hebrew translation, right? And she's a chaplain. I mean, she's gone to school for this. She's studied God. Well, she's known God. Since she was 2. I've had people that have been significant to me like that Sunday school teacher was to her, that they stop and they just give you some pertinent information, and then somehow that information just sticks with you your whole life, Then you meet up anyway. So a couple weeks back, I ran into a fella, and I talked about it on my talks. His name's Richard. I call him Richard Hale. I guess, I don't know. He goes, and he has different names to his friends, nicknames and whatnot. And he's been showing me around the local area, and we have a lot of congruences. And it's just it's nice to have the company and to get out and get some fresh air, right? So I was telling him about this, how I've been, and he's a man of God, and he goes into the darkness. He goes into the darkness of the dark to try and say like, hey, this is what God's about, See, because all these freaking whoop-de-loo, like woo, like do-gooders and stuff, they're just, okay, we're standing here in the light. We're gonna wait for the people to come up from the shadows, and we're gonna we're gonna love them and we're gonna help them and the world's gonna get, no, people gotta go into the darkness and show these people what the light is, and that's what people like me do. Because we know the darkness, and sometimes it would have been nice just to have somebody come in and be there with us. And I hope to be that to people in this carnate. Now, and anytime they ever want to watch any of my videos, I've made over 1,500 of them now. So this man loaned me this book. Hey, look at the book, and it's just a book, and there's pages in it. But when you open up the book, it's the Bible. And it's in all three. It's the translation. It's the real deal. And it has the Hebrew alphabet on the front. You know? As was interpreted by whoever wrote this, because everything's interpretation and stuff. But I mean, there's not a better. I shared it with Jesse. I'm like, can you believe this, man? I'm like, I want to study the Bible, and there's like, here it is in the translation, Hebrew. Isn't that kind of cool, Mom? How when the student is ready, the teacher just comes. But see, all information and data, that's all in frequency. That's all vibration, you know. I hated the freaking structure stuff, like APA standard, you know, all that structure. You got to make it like this and this, you know, structure, because people spend more time on that than what is in the content of what they're saying. I found, but so many people are raising their vibration, because that's what happens when things speed up, like a record player. Or when you speed up the time on to playback, you can speed it up, and it's blah, 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 it speeds everything up. Well, what's supposed to happen when we're speeding up, because we're on planet Earth, and planet Earth is speeding up, and everything is speeding up. And so there's people that are like adamantly trying to cease the revolutions. And you can't. And there's the rest of us that are just kind of going along. Okay, what's next? Let's do this, you know. And data travels through light. And, you know, like fiber optics, it's literal, it's metaphorical. Everything's a play off everything else. And so more people are receiving. They're getting knowings. It's dawning on people. It's occurring to people. People are considering things that they've never considered before. That's because everything's speeding up. We're all becoming crystallized over this carbon-based human being. And then you have all the other ones that are freaking, I can't believe. All you got to do is tell people to do something and they do it. Should I just start telling people no, I can't do that. Where's their spells? That's why I love when Keijin shares my videos, and there's I think I'm out there as a featured channel on one gal's tube from 3 years ago. Naomi, she does readings and stuff. I think she's in like Switzerland or something. She's one of those blonde beauties, classy. I think she was going to school for like pharmacy school too. Anyway, I'm not one that's gonna stand anywhere and tell anyone to sign up for me. I'm one of those that I prefer if my friends recommend me. That's just how I was kind of taught. I've been taught a lot of stuff. I picked up a lot of the good and I've left a lot of the rest. There's a lot of stuff that I haven't been in alignment that people are pushing. I believe I was always taught health is our wealth. And so for people to just so adamantly, I have only taken I don't think I took my first cycle of antibiotics until I was over 26 years old when I was in the Air Force. Because we just never went to the doctor. You don't go to the doctor unless you're like, you know, I had my appendix out when I was 15, but I didn't want to go to the doctor. My mother made me. Plus, I was throw up sick, and I rarely got throw up sick back then. Now I energies are so crazy. I get migraines. It's part of my freaking the wreckage of my past from living in my ego. I used to have short man's complex, you know, because I didn't think I was very smart, but I was always really, really strong. And could do weird things that people are like, what is that? Why? Who does that kind of thing? And I was a clown, and I did stunts and stuff like that, and so because I did that, and when I worked in the Air Force, there's a lot of heavy lifting, and I was in computers, and back then the monitors were like this. So I did heavy lift, and I was 5'3" and 3/4. I've left an inch and 3/4. I'm only 5'2" now. In like between my ages of 42 and 44, and so I get migraines, and there's only about 3 days out of the month that I don't have them, and those are really good days. I'm like, whoopee! You know, let's clean, let's do this, let's do it all, and, you know. So, but that's why I know the importance of living within my means, spiritually, emotionally. You know, in all ways. Mom was we had to always be on budgets because we were so poor and stuff like that. So we didn't live our extravagance was electricity. And some years we got the electricity and the phone bill in our stockings for Christmas. Maybe an orange, a pack of sugar-free gum because we couldn't eat sugar. You know? So when I look around and I see how much people have, I'm just like, what the frick? It's all landfill, man. We don't take this stuff with us. You know? I started living a minimalistic life because I'm like, I don't got nobody to freaking give anything to. So, why am I going to freaking, build up big houses to fill it with stuff, so when I'm gone, somebody else has to come in and clean up after me? That's just stupid. And then I was like, oh, they need all that stuff to make them feel good. That's what the empty people do. I tried to listen to the Leo Cub. I can't. I'm trying. I just like get a measure of where people are. And that guy, man, he don't get it. He don't get it. He don't get it. He don't get it. He don't get the whole ego of it. He don't get it. I could only stand a little while, like 15 minutes. I was like, nope, I'm out. I'll check back in another time. That's alignment, because when people vibe down here, I can't hear you over your ego. I'll try and tune back in later, and I know. You know how I know when somebody's a D-bag? Because I've been a D-bag. So it's like namaste. The D-bag in me recognizes the D-bag in you. Oh, see how that works? I'm not making myself better than people. I'm recognizing the shit baggage of them because I've been the shit bag. Does that make sense? Mom's over. I always put Mom to sleep when I talk. She just... You alright, Mom? You got a headache? Are you feeling okay? Yeah? We're not... I gotta get one of those stand-up air conditioners for in here. Because I got hot take, but we got the fan on up here. I'm like, whoopee! I was so excited because I forgot it, because it's out of our side. And I know it's up there, but this is the first day that we've used it. It's kind of nice, huh, Ma? We never had a fan in our house.
Yeah, that's a good fan,
I think I had. Did I have one in Omaha? I think I had one in Omaha. That was cool. I think. Some days I'm like, Mom, because I. It doesn't. It's stupid to ask myself if I think I made the right decision. It doesn't matter. We're here where we are, you know. All right. It doesn't do any good. But sometimes I'm like, do you miss, And she's like, no. She misses Oregon for the like outdoor part, like the trees in the spring. I miss Oregon for that too. It's never for the people. It's always for the land. You know it? It's what I found. We're kind of nomads. Huh. We just kind of we're like I'm like a hippie Poppins. I just kind of go where I'm supposed to be, And I know that how things play out just based on like how I got into the Air Force. My story, I haven't told that in a while. Maybe I'll tell that story. I haven't told that one in a while. I lost 27 pounds in like 2.5 months. It started on Christmas Day when I was walking home from working at the movie theater at Watton-Arden, or not Watton-Arden, I worked at the Rite Aid at Watton-Arden. But it was across the street from the Arden Fair Mall is the one over with all it was the Dome Theater. I remember we'd drive to Sacramento when I was a kid and I'd see that, and then later, fast forward, I worked there, and then I was working with my friend Reiko. She was supposed to be on Jerry Springer, but some other people that worked at the theater were on it, but she didn't end up going. That's how long ago this was, back in 1999, and it was Christmas. No, it was 1998. Because 99, no, it was 2000. It was 2000. Uh-oh! Because that's the year when okay, but it was Christmas 1999. That's what it was. Okay. So, we got off our shift and we're walking home or walking back to her apartment and where she lived with her sister Rock, and we were puffing on doobies and stuff, and it was cool. But by now it's probably 9:30, almost 10 o'clock, and it's Christmas, and I get sad. I used to get sad on Christmas. I don't anymore. I used to get really sad because I was never around any family for whatever reason. And so here's just another Christmas, and I'm like, that was like a spiritual awakening I had. I called out at the place. I stayed at the White House. Everybody called it the White because their last names were White is the reason. And all their names were WWW. They all were like 4 generations of WWWs. Everybody had those initials. Isn't that kind of cool? I thought it was kind of neat. Anyway, so I called out to the White House and I was like, all right, I'm done, Can I get a... Oh, no, you can't get a ride home. Because, W2 had to freaking go downtown to get laid. And everybody was all pissed off because they'd been in San Francisco and then drinking wine all day. And so by the evening, everyone's all mad in their spirit. It's just, just all that stuff. And I was like, all right. But I had a little dog out there. My dog, Arthur Boo Rattly. And so I was like, gotta go. So it was a 13-mile walk on Christmas night, And I'm just like, Marge, what are you doing with your life, I'm having those talks with God. What am I doing, And then it was like, all right, you gotta go live with Mom. You gotta lose this weight and you gotta go in the military because you got stuff to do and you ain't gonna do it this way ever. And so the next morning, I walked in. Took me about 2.5 hours, and I was just like, I was just done, and I just plopped down, go to sleep with my cat, or my dog, my dog, Arthur Boo, and then freaking woke up, and I was just like, I gotta go. I called Mom, and she's like, all right, but this is it, and you can't drink. I was like, all right, and so I freaking went home and I went and talked to a recruiter, and I was just like, listen, I'm 26 years old. I'm like on the verge of I can't do this anymore, okay? So what you need to do is you need to tell me what I need to do to clean up anything to make this happen. And you know, you don't have to lie to me and bullshit me, because that recruiter, they tell people whatever. It's just, they're salesmen, man, and they got numbers to keep up. The one recruiter, I'm like, who are the lowest test score? Or my recruiter dude. I remember asking him, who are the lowest test scores to get in? What's the lowest you can, like? And they're like, you gotta score at 36 to go in the services, and those are the people that like wipe down the gym equipment and work in the kitchen and stuff like that. Services. They say it's just like its title. I was like, what's his second lowest? He's like, police. So these freaking pinheads go in like the rest of us with no options. Only when they get out, you know, as long as they're cool to everybody back at home, they're making $89,000-92,000 a year. You get a car, you get to drive all over, even on the weekends, because all over every town I ever lived in, I've seen freaking these cars in you know, it's their personal vehicles, and they haven't been living too good. Anyway, so I went home, lost the weight. And I was supposed to be in telephone services, which is kind of ironic because the White House, the woman at the White House, the mom, I think they like made her retire. She worked for the phone company in Sacramento for 43 years or something like that. That was like her job out of high school, you know, because, you know, it's funny how I ended up knowing people because I have a failed relationship number 3. They're few and far between. One was the same one on and off for 8 years. So anyway, but she was worked at the phone company, and because her mom worked at the phone company, and her dad, her great grandpa, like was the guy that put up the freaking cabling in North Omaha, you know. Oh, important people, but I'm not one of them. So it's supposed to be telephone services, and my basic training was supposed to be, my ship date was supposed to be September 2nd. And I remember it was like Labor Day weekend, because my cat, April, she was asleep, and something happened. She woke up, it startled her, and she fell and she broke her tooth. And I was like freaking out because it was a Sunday or something, and we couldn't take her to the vet, and it was just very stressful. And then I was supposed to ship the next day, and I go down to ship, and I had started my period that morning. And when I went to weigh in, the last time I weighed in earlier that week, the week before, I was 142 pounds. You have to be like 146. And then, when I went to weigh in, I was 3 pounds over. And I was like, dude, give me a plastic bag in an hour. I will have this water weight off of me. Or give me a trash bag. Give me a trash bag in an hour and I'll have this weight off of me. They're like, nope, you gotta go back and pick a new job. Because it was like, was that? No, I had to go back to MEPS 3 times. It was such an ordeal. It was just such a freaking ordeal. So I was supposed to be in phone systems and stuff, and then what happened was, and then that happened, and then so I went home, and then they had me come back, and when they had me come back, they're like, oh, it's the last day of the fiscal year. That job isn't available anymore. Pick a new career field. And I was like, you guys couldn't have done this shit over the phone? Because Reading is like a 3-hour bus ride from Sacramento. It's a freaking pain in the ass. So I did have one of the bus drivers, though, because I always sit right up front and I talk to everybody. And I started talking to the bus driver, and we get to talking because I was staying at the White House. And he's like, where are you headed? And I was telling him, and he's like, that's where I live. So homeboy freaking said, Hank, chill out here, stay low while we drive through the bus yard. And then he gave me a ride home out to close proximity. I just like, just drop me off at the gas station. I'll walk. It's cool. But that was pretty cool, huh? Get right all the way there from the Greyhound. That's service, right? So, finally, when I picked my job, I was like, oh, okay, I'll pick age. Age. I was an age ranger. There is no danger to an age ranger. Flight line support. Mostly because it's like, some are more bumbling than others, and they freaking electrocute themselves and shit like that. But I was the Toto. I was the literal Toto at Offutt Air Force Base, Nebraska. The technical order distribution officer the last year I was in. I was basically the librarian because for every mechanical action you take, you have to have a technical order in close proximity to your, at the page open, to the procedure. And it's stupid. I'm like, my whole life I was just like, who comes up with this shit? Because you know that they don't do it themselves. People that don't follow rules have no business making them up. Look up John Denver. Look what his dad did. Old boy freaking ran off to make music in LA. And General Dad, not my son, he freaking took a jet. You want to talk about fraud, waste, and abuse? I talk about it all the time. My experience when I was in Operation Iraqi bullshit, I think about that a lot. People are just new, walking down the street, minding their own business, living their lives in Iraq, and then here come our planes that I brought the start cart to. All these people. Where are all the veterans that are coming out saying, I'm sorry for that? Sorry. Country's driven by a bunch of freaking satanic cult freaking perverted weirdos, and that's how they make money, because they designate these bombs as a unit that cost $25,000, and then they got a buddy that's gonna make them, and then so they make all of these at our cost. It's just stupid, and it's gotta stop. When I was there, these guardsmen from San Bernardino, outside of San Bernardino, and they would fly when I was there, and they were fucking all overweight mechanics, freaking just a drain on society. They're the drains on society, because they act like they're doing shit and they don't. So it was the whole crew. They would be like, they were doing age, same thing I was, but for their mission. And so all these guys on the mechanic on the ground, what they got to do is at midnight. On the beginning, because we flew in March 20th, 2003. March 19th. So it was the 1st of April. They all got hunkered in their fat asses into their plane, and then just flew over Saudi and came back. It was like a half-hour trip, 45 minutes. You fly over 20 minutes, come back 20 minutes, do it on the end of the month. Into the next day, that's 2 months tax-free. You're paid because they flew over into a hazardous duty. See, it's all that shit. It's all of it. Years and years and generations of it. And people benefiting in my dad was a good man, and he was anybody. I could only do 6 because it made me sick to be a part of that shit. So, But what my consequence was? I lost 1 3/4 inches. Because I did it to get a college degree, which I did. I got my college degree. Last day of class was the 19th of November, 2006. The end of my enlistment was Mom's 50th birthday. November 28th, 2006. I did it in 9 days. There are very, very, very few goals in life that I have not accomplished. But man, if the wicked do not if they freaking just love putting obstacles in my way. So I have a lot of experience of how to get through obstacles, because there are some people that just don't want you to succeed. And you know what the hardest part is? Is I've been duped by these people. They're the ones that are in my face being my friend. Or they were. And I think about it. In the conversations that we've had, they don't want frickin', me to be the best the highest potential I could be, because then they might have to level up and do better themselves. And people don't want to do better. That's why everybody's walking around like this, because they're afraid. Because they're scared. They have no faith in God. They're afraid. And because they're afraid, even if this freaks people out like me from wearing a mask, I had to wear a freaking Mop 4 every month for hours because they were play exercising scenarios 20 years ago, 22, 23 years ago that people are living out now. But that doesn't happen, dude. It's hard to watch. People just don't know how to think. They just don't. I don't care if people agree with the things that I say. I honestly don't. I'm a Heyoka. I'm contrarian. My life is based on freaking saying the wrong thing, doing the wrong thing, being an example of what not to do. Keeping a smile on your face, meanwhile. Learning lessons. Trying not to make them the same ones over and over and over. Now, I always like to make the different ones with slight variances. Right, Ma? So, anyway, I'm going to be, I told Mom, I said, Mom, I'll be reading the Bible a little bit. Hey, Marge. I like that, Jessica. Yeah, I call them failed relationship number 1, 2, and 3. All because of me. Yeah, you don't want to be with no devils. You know, I like to play matchmaker. In my mind of like who would be good? I think Naked and Laughing would have fun hanging out with Ariel 123. He's a tuber. He wants to go live on a boat. I don't know if the cats would like living on a boat. I have all the time to think about things. Yeah, I have not looked for anyone. I just have the most peculiar taste. That's all there is to it. It's just me. I gave myself a haircut today. How did I do? I don't want to look at the back. I think I did alright. Feels good. I'm a hothead, man. When I get heated. And then when somebody comes with some bullshit, I'm just like, no. So, CC Music Factory. Everybody dance now. Too bad music is shit. It used to be a lot better. Before everybody started figuring out that everybody got their success in frame because they signed their name in blood on that dotted line. Anyway, I've been running my mouth long enough. That's about all I got for now. Hope you have a rad evening. Peace. Who did I say? Yeah, I said Ariel 123. I think he's a cool guy. And I think you're a cool chick. And I think that you guys would just like have fun hanging out. He's down in the Keys, I think, in Florida. He wants to get farther south. He's a freak. I don't know what his sign is. He's just, for me, he's an example of a balanced guy. I'm sure he has his moments too, as we all do. But that's what balanced people do, is sometimes they'll dip over to the shadow side, but they come back. Oh, baby girl! She said, take me out. I want to go on a walk. Let's go out for a walk right